The drum tracks program merge mystery in MPC 3.5 desktop beta. I think I solved it. Let's check it out. I'm Shay Alexander Wright. Welcome to the Music Pro. We are going to tackle something that I've racked my brain over for the last couple of months since Akai introduced the MPC 3.5 desktop beta. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with it because I've been busy on the road with a couple of different situations, and I've also had to finish up some other projects here in the studio. So, all that to say, one thing that I've racked my brain over the last couple of months messing with this thing is the whole drum tracks program merge. As you guys have likely been aware, you used to have the program portion of the inspector below the tracks for drum tracks. That's no longer the case. And I went through the manual and everything for the beta, and they, very, very clearly state that the inspector is the program portion of the inspector is no longer available for the drum tracks. I believe the program inspector is now only available for the MIDI plugins and CV options, track options. Well, typically what I would do is I would sample myself. I would lay those samples out or, chop them in a new program, drum program, sample program, or whatever you want to call it, an MPC. And then I would arrange or manipulate those samples, perform those samples on the pad in a certain way on the track, and then maybe mute that track, start a new track, and recall that same program in the new track to perform those pads or samples in another sort of way or arrangement. Well, can't do that easily with the MPC 3.5 desktop beta. So I stumbled across a hack. Now, here's the hack. Okay, so this is the beat right now that I have started for this track. Okay, so I have my samples laid out here. Now, I laid that performance into this track, and typically, like I said, what I would do is I would just cough up a new track or start a new track, and then recall that sample program or drum program in the new track. Well, can't do that because that's no longer available in the inspector. So I just kind of went through all sorts of things and ideas and possibilities until I stumbled across this. I started to right click here on the track portion of the inspector. And as you guys are aware, this menu is quite a bit different. But nonetheless, this is the menu. And I said, all right, you know what? Maybe there's something here if I mess around with this. So I just arbitrarily clicked save track to see exactly what that would do. And it gave me this window right here, which looks like you're saving a project in desktop as you typically would. But what I noticed is it gave me the title of the track and then also this XTD extension, suffix or whatever. So it's like, all right, I'm not going to save it again because I already saved it, but I saved it. So I said, all right, what would happen if I should locate that file that was just saved, that track file or whatever? And I found it. Actually, let me move this iPad a little bit. Yeah, so there it is right there. So Guitar Riffs PhD XTD. So I took it and I grabbed it and tried to put it here on the pad. Nothing happened. Like, okay. Let me try it again. So I grabbed it again and just put it right over the track, and voila, it landed just as it was supposed to. So it's like, okay, well, this is great. I know that I can fly that in from outside of the desktop software. Let me undo and explore how to go about accessing that within 3.5 desktop. So I went to my file browser. As you see, the file browser is open here. And I just went to, well, I think I double checked that I was going to the right drive. Went to the right drive, went down to the artist folder that I'm working in. So I selected the track folder that I'm working in, the project folder that I'm working in. I see though, initially, I have the MPC project files here, but no project folders, which I'd never really encountered before. So I just kind of went to this little menu button here and noticed in the drop down the selections that are already checked. And I noticed that hide project data folders was checked. I unchecked it, and of course, my project data folders appeared in the browser. So it's like, okay, that appeared in the browser. Let's go down and grab that XTD file here. Now, if you notice the 4 pad icon kind of thing there, that is actually what the program's icon used to be in MPC2. That's what it referred to. So that looks familiar. I select that, and I said, all right, you know what? Let's go ahead and just like we dragged outside within the DAW, let's drag it to there, and we got the same action. So now I can go back and I can actually mute the track that I did before, and I can now so that's the hack. I presume that Akai is going to make this much easier as we get closer to the full release, the official release of MPC3 desktop. What I'm surprised right off the bat is, one, they just didn't make it easier to access these track files in this new software. It seemed to me like, maybe there would be a button, as we have these buttons up top. It maybe occurred to me that when you go to what used to be program edit and is now track edit, if you go to track edit, that there would maybe be some sort of radio button or drop down menu that will allow you to access the various track files that you might save to recall in different other tracks. But they did not do that. So I'm presuming that at some point, maybe with this drop down menu where you can right click in the track portion of the inspector where the track name is, maybe there's going to be an import track or import track file. Or what would be nice as well is if Akai, so you know how you have your options, your view options for the different portions of the inspectors. if they would include a segment where it says track file. And just like you have these drop down menus for the ports and the channels, the MIDI channels, and so on and so forth, that the drop down menus, if you have track file, would then display all the track files that have been saved and you can access across tracks. Now, all that to say, so far, aside from racking my brain over this, thing, this mystery, it's really a mess. That's really what it is. It's a mess. I kind of like the MPC3 desktop. I like the look. I certainly like the look. I mean, it's basically what it is a color scheme change. Uh, Black is the theme as opposed to the black and the red in MPC2. But I like it. I'm glad that the song arranger, conventional song arrange mode is still included in MPC3. I am looking forward to them getting closer to the official release because I believe that's when we'll get the MPC3 VST plugins for using within your DAW. I really enjoy working with MPC within my DAW because it allows me to treat the MPC the exact same way I used to treat the MPC in my large format studios as a machine that was plugged up to the studio and I could manipulate things into and out of the MPC in any way I wanted to, however the creative vibe sort of hit me, and I like that having that approach with the MPC VST plugin in my DAW. There are a couple of things last year I reached out to Akai, a couple of things I suggested that I believe would make the MPC way more, or I should say even more efficient and practical within the DAW. Things that I think a lot of us would appreciate, a particular kind of flexibility and versatility with the plugin in the DAW. We'll see if they listened and incorporated some things that a number of people have suggested. But anyway, that's my 50 cents worth on MPC 3.5 desktop beta. I'm looking forward to doing more with it. And look, I promised that there were going to be some more videos coming over the last few weeks, last month or so. It's just been a really busy time, especially with me going back on tour with a couple of different situations. But they're coming. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get done with this, I'm on to some portions of one of the next videos that's coming out. Stay tuned. Thanks for dialing in. Until next time, I'm Shay Alexander Wright. Peace.